In this video, I will show you how to create beautiful fabric flowers that you can use on your crafting projects for card making, on handmade albums, scrapbook layouts, on mixed media projects. These flowers are very light but quite sturdy as the fabric is stiffened, and they look absolutely beautiful on any project. On my channel you will find more videos for making flowers, so please check. Hi, it's Emilia Sieradzan. I'm happy that you are here with me today. Let's make some flowers. To start, I will show you a few tools that I recently released with Stamperia. These are basic tools for creating flowers. Doesn't matter if you want to make foam, paper, fabric flowers. These are very useful tools. So start with the shaping burins. They've got different sizes, various sizes of the endings for various sizes of the flowers. Then we've got a shaping mat, and this mat is wonderful. It is easy to wipe, it's heat proof, and I just love it. And then we've got the selection of cutting dies. Today I'm using blooming flowers. We need to start by preparing the fabric. I use cotton. This is the plain cotton, not very thick. It's not super great quality fabric. I buy quite cheap, and I will link the products and the fabric in the description box below the video. So what I like to do, we need to stiffen the fabric, because as it is like now, we won't be able to use it for die cutting. So we need to make it stiffen, and then it looks more and works more like a paper. So I will cut the strips of it, because these are the sizes I use usually for making for the die cutting. This is the size that will go on my die cutting machine. But of course you can cut it into different sizes. I'm just showing you my technique. Then we will need 2 plastic cups, and for stiffening I will use the wood glue. This is a cheap wood glue, and I will mix it with water. We also need a brush and something to mix water with the glue. So first I start by adding the same amount of a glue and the same amount of a water. So this for the fabric which I have on the table, I only need a small amount, and I marked on one cup where I need to add the glue, and then I added the same amount of water, so is 1 to 1, and then I will add a little bit more glue. I know it's not very precise, but for that small amount, maybe 1 more spoon of a glue. So it is a little bit more glue than water. Then I will mix it, and then I will apply it on the fabric. I'm working on a cutting glass mat, and don't worry, the glue is very easy to remove later. So I will just place my fabric on the mat, and then I would apply the mixture with the brush. I usually wear gloves as well. I ran out of gloves. I don't like when my hands are sticky later. So if you will be doing that, I suggest you wear gloves, and also to protect your skin. And please check on the packaging of the wood glue if you will be using the wood glue for that. Check if you need anything special, like, I don't know, open the door or whatever when you're doing it. So then I will brush that solution. I'm not applying too much of it. It's just so I can see that the fabric is wet. And as you can see, I don't do it on every side of the fabric, as I'm putting one fabric on top of the previous one. I do one layer, then I fold it, and I will do top layer. You don't need to add a lot of the solution. As you can see, once you put the next fabric, it's already getting wet, and we actually want it only to be wet. And the good thing about that is when it dries it doesn't really drip. So I will now clean the mat quickly. I'm just using the wet wipe for that, and I'm ready to hang my fabrics. So for that I created a line in my studio. It's just a thread that a twine actually, that one basket is connected with another with the thread, and I will just hang the fabrics. So when I do that I try to keep them apart because they will curl slightly when they are drying, and when they curling it's good if they do not touch each other because they may be glued together. And I leave them for a couple of hours to dry, or very often overnight. When the fabric is dry, it's you can hear that it's like crunchy, and that's why we need it to be like that, so it's more like a paper, and now it's ready to die cut. One more thing before die cutting, I will iron it quickly just to get rid of the biggest like creases, and then I use just the travel iron for that, and then we can die cut. For die cutting, a part of the die cutting machine and your dies, I will also use a piece of copy paper. This is to go underneath the fabric. It will help you with die cutting, make the die cutting like crisp. So I'm cutting off a little bit of the fabric where it was like edge of it and it doesn't look good, and I will be die cutting 2 layers at the time. So I have a piece of fabric and I will just fold it in half and cut those 2 layers. So I like to go forward and back. My machine is very old, it's not cutting great anymore, but it's still good to die cut 2 layers of fabric. Sometimes it will happen that the fabric stays a little bit in the die cut in the fabric, so I will just pull that, and then if you have any threads coming out you can cut them out with the scissors later. But as you can see, it's pretty easy and it works really good. If your fabric is not stiffened enough, the die cutting will be hard and it won't die cut properly. Okay, let's go to starting shaping the flowers. Actually, before shaping I will add a little bit of color. For the shaping I use this soldering iron. This is the UK version. I will talk about it a bit later. For the flowers we also need some stamens, and you can have any color fabric, of course, stiffened and die cut. Stamp, which I will use in the center of each layer, maybe not the super small ones, and this is from the Timeless collection, from the stamp set. You've got 2 different sizes and these are perfect for stamping in the center. So I will take my die cuts and I will stamp the center first, and then with the same ink I will add a bit of color in the center, just with the the dabber in the round motions. Sometimes I will also add a color on the end of the petals, but not today. Today I'm just adding it in the center of each layer. This is the technique that I previously showed on my channel, so there will be a similar video for different color of the flowers, but I thought I want to show it again because this is a very simple technique and it gives really good results. So to shape the flower you need to have this iron hot, and then I will start on the one side. For me it's left side of each petal. I will go once with the tool. Then I will turn the layer upside down and go on the other side, actually on the same side, because on the left side of the petal with the tool, and now I keep it a little bit in the angle, but it's the other side of this what was previously shaped. I hope it makes sense. Then I will go in the middle and press the layer into the pad for a few seconds. And this is it. Very, very simple. And it works for various shapes of flowers, various sizes. So I use that technique for most of my flowers. And that's why I'm showing it to you again today, so you can really see, and maybe I will inspire you to try. I wanted to talk more about the shaping tool. So this iron, it's a UK version. I've got it from Amazon and I can link it in the description box below the video. Please note that this iron do not come with that ending. So I purchased another one with a selection of the endings, but I'm using this one because it has this plastic protective thing, the red part, because the metal part is all hot. That's why I like this iron, and it's quite bigger than the other versions online. So you know, it is a bit more expensive to buy two irons, one with the endings and one without. But for me it works great because I like this version. So hopefully one day one company, I don't know, will figure it out, or maybe I will do, and create the tool that actually comes all in one. So I'm finishing my last flower for the smaller one. I only shaped it like once on each petal, and then I will be adding stamens. I will ink them before adding, because the center of my flower is brown. I added a little bit of brown ink to the stamens as well, and then I will attach them to the flower. I use the hot glue today. Usually I use craft glue, but it dries longer, and unfortunately I added too much glue for the center of this little one, but then I removed it, so it's fine. I like to add the glue from the top when I'm adding the stamens, but of course if you can work it out, maybe you will find your own way of doing it. I just prefer to add it from the top, but you have to be very careful not to add too much, basically. So then with the bigger flowers, of course I will use more stamens, 4 or 5 double-sided. Then I have a little wire which help me put them all through the center. The flowers have little holes in the middle, but if you find the holes are not big enough, you will use the poke tool to make them larger. And then I will squash the flower slightly from the bottom, pulling the stamens and just shaping that center of the flower. After the first layer, I will go to the second layer and add a little bit of glue between the layers as well. This way I know the stamens will stay in place, because I usually cut off the bottom part of the stamens, you know, the thread. Some people keep it on and maybe cut it off later, but I like to cut them off straight away. And actually that's it. I will remove the wire and use for another set of stamens to create the largest flower. And you can create flowers which are 1 layer, 2 layers, or 3 layers, 4 layers. This is depend on how full you want your flowers to be. Sometimes I will use a combination of 1 small layer and 2 larger layers for 3 layers of the flower. But recently I do like to have 1 layer flowers and 2 layers flowers, because these are quick to do and enough for my projects. So that will be it for today. I hope you will find this video useful and you will know now the whole process. I really invite you to try. I want to encourage you to make your own flowers, because this is amazing. You can make them in any color, shape and size you need. And this is the huge advantage of making flowers. And once you will master that technique, you will be able to create many different flowers. So here they are, super, super cute. I hope you like them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a lovely creative day. Bye bye.